Kingdom Hearts is an iconic franchise known for its batshit insane storylines and weird use of Disney characters that is both charming and requires the brainpower of a space engineer to get to the bottom of. I don't have that level of brainpower and am more akin to the intelligence of a jam sandwich, but I should do my best to explain the story of the first Kingdom Hearts game to you. You play as Sora, a child with really big shoes and the hairstyle of the Statue of Liberty, who lives on an island with some other children with ridiculous names and some characters from Final Fantasy X. And the game expects you to already have existing knowledge of multiple Final Fantasy games coming in, and if you don't have that, tough. Sora wakes on his beach to his friend Kairi, who starts giving him shit for being lazy and they should go out and get a real job. She talks about not knowing where she came from and not remembering things that happened before she got to the island. Sora brings up multiverse theory because that's all the rage these days, and how he wants to travel to different worlds. Kairi wants to go home, so they build a raft. Where are they going exactly? Kairi can't remember where her home is. Jump cut to a castle with Donald Duck. He enters a humongous hall and instantly becomes annoying, shouting good morning at the king, who's pissed off out, probably to avoid his grating voice. Pluto gives Donald a letter which makes him panic. Worlds are disappearing and being overrun with an evil force, and he's trying to get to the root of it. He wakes up Goofy, who's just as invested in the story as me at this point. Donald is trying to tell Goofy what's up, and then his missus comes up behind him and gives him that look of, I've told you to take the bins out 5 times now, you're fucking useless, Donald. And we're back to the island. What did that have to do with anything? We'll find out soon, I guess. Riku wants a race. The winner gets to name the raft. Okay, how about we name it Riku Sucks? Riku knows Sora has the hots for Kairi and says the winner gets to give her their fruit. That's not a euphemism. Sora gets a mushroom from a cave and then a pervert talks to him. There's also a magic door in the cave too. A soppy cutscene plays where Sora and Kairi have a lovely time together. A bunch of enemies come and attack Sora. These things are too adorable to be enemies. Sora tries hitting them with his crappy wooden sword, but it's doing nothing. He seeks help from Riku, who's ready to leave for a portal and get off the island. Sora finally gets a weapon. It's actually effective against the cute enemies, but he's still overrun. Sora's weapon is a massive key that he bonks enemies on the head with, and gets different themed skins for, like he's playing Apex Legends and their rewards for completing each world. Sora retreats to the cave from earlier, but there's a real door there now. He enters and sees Kairi all dozy. She calls out to him as the weird door opens behind her, sucking her in and throwing Sora out to fight a big ass shadow monster that shoots out lasers from his stomach like Jinpachi Mishima. I think this is the shadow monster's ultimate form, much like Pokemon where they start off really cute and after evolving a couple of times it's a Cthulhu monster that can be beaten with a slap on the wrist. Sora passes out and wakes up in Traverse Town where Donald and Goofy are. Then there's a long sequence where Sora goes in circles for 20 minutes and every time he opens one door, Donald and Goofy come out of the last one. They're looking for someone called Leon, who Sora manages to find and learns that he has the most boringest voice in existence. So boring in fact that Sora beats him up with his newfangled door opening tool. He passes out after. Jesus, he passes out a lot. Are we sure he's not narcoleptic? Sora is tripping balls thinking that he's talking to Kairi, but is in fact talking to Yuffie, another Final Fantasy VII character, and in this game she's not a furry. We learn that the monsters are called Heartless and they're attracted to darkness, and I would like for you at home to take a shot anytime darkness is said in this video. Does that sound good? Excellent, let's continue. Sora and Leon go after the Heartless. They corner Goofy and Donald. Donald starts thinking he's Billy Big Dick and tries to fight back, but they both go flying onto Sora. The three of them as a team beat up whatever this is. A cutscene plays where a bunch of shadowy people are watching the events of this fight, having bets on who's going to win from their secret Legion of Doom room. They're led by Maleficent. Their intentions will become clear in the near future. Now we're getting more into the Disney side of things. If you've ever seen a classic Disney movie before, prior to them deciding to make unnecessary remakes that missed the point entirely, then for the most part you have experienced most levels in Kingdom Hearts. Visiting multiple worlds ranging from Tarzan to the Little Mermaid, they're essentially retellings of those stories, but Sora, Donald Duck and Goofy are shoehorned in at the most crucial parts of those films, like Sora is the Disney game equivalent of Forrest Gump. Except life is not like a box of chocolates, it's like a bag of gummy sweets that he has a spaceship made of. Sora is out here creating time paradoxes, ruining the stories of Disney films, like he's doing a big run-in with a steel chair and clearing house, rewriting the ends of these films to suit his own narrative. The story starts to sway as important characters go missing, such as Alice from Alice in Wonderland and Jasmine from Aladdin. Now the story goes from finding Sora's friends and King Mickey Mouse to saving captured Disney princesses while fighting off leading villains combined with heartless monstrosities, meaning that for every Clayton from Tarzan and Captain Hook from Peter Pan, we also get this thing that looks like a bunch of floating pots and pans and a light bulb with legs. Here I will quickly add that this game is difficult. For a baby game made for babies, final mixed difficulty, which is normal for the record, gives Bloodborne a run for its money, and your teammates of Donald Duck and Goofy aren't exactly the most helpful, as Donald especially likes to pass out midway through the battle, leaving you to slog for it yourself. This happens so frequently I was honestly convinced that Donald was actually a secret villain for most of the game, but alas no, he's just useless. The game is rated 7+, but I sure as hell don't know know any 7-year-olds who are going to be beaten this game. I also don't know any 7-year-olds, but that's beside the point. So the kidnappings. Alice is on trial for beating up her husband and cutting his finger off. No, sorry, wrong trial. Sora needs to find evidence to exonerate her. It was the Cheshire Cat who was an absolute wanker. Alice disappears, then the lads fight a Heartless monster with long legs, then they go off to another world without bothering to search for her. In Agrabah, Jasmine is being hunted by Jafar, who is in the know about all of the darkness stuff with Maleficent. Maleficent reveals that all 7 princesses of heart are needed to open the final keyhole, Jasmine included. Sora goes to get Aladdin's help, but he's drowning in quicksand. The genie saves him. His voice sounds really familiar, and it's not Robin Williams. It's Homer Simpson!
Oh, Homer Simpson, you fucking animal, you!
Jasmine falls into a pot and turns into a heartless centipede, and his genie is stolen. Sora beats up the centipede, but it's too late. Jafar, now in command of the genie, uses one of his wishes to see where the keyhole is. The gang running on Jafar scheming with Maleficent. Sora asks if that's her name, and then she disappears like she just died in Star Wars. Jafar uses his other wishes to turn himself into a genie, and it's boss time, as Jafar is now a red version of Dr. Manhattan but doesn't have his dick flopping everywhere. We see someone walk up to Jasmine and kidnap her again. Sora seals the keyhole and is done with Agrabah. Aladdin can search for Jasmine by himself now, I guess. Not Sora's problem, okay, thanks, bye. While traveling world, Sora's like, let's stop here, I need a piss. And Donald's like, fuck off, we're not stopping, you should have gone before we left. And Sora isn't having any of Donald being a sassy bitch, so he slaps him about the gummy ship for a minute until he concedes. The first thing that happens upon arriving is Sora is separated from the group and is attacked by a leopard that he casually sets on fire. Then a man comes to help him with the big cat who is naked. Yeah, go on mate, cock drop it. The naked man is Tarzan, another Disney icon. Tarzan doesn't talk so well, so Sora has to speak slowly and point like he's trying to order from a restaurant in a foreign country. Tarzan starts swearing at him, and then suddenly he's part of the team. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but Tarzan isn't a Disney princess, so why the fuck are we here? Clayton wants to hunt monkeys and is terrible at pretending there's a good guy, tricking Tarzan to take him to their house. Donald Duck makes a horrible noise as always, which in turn distracts Clayton from shooting the monkey they place off as trying to be helpful. Tarzan doesn't believe him, so snitches to his sexy human friend. Then this fucker shows his true colours, and the game remembers it's supposed to be Kingdom Hearts, so a bunch of Heartless show up dressed as monkeys like that Bloodhound Gang music video. They're harassing the real monkeys, so Sora and co fight another leopard. Then a monkey gets a little too frisky with Jane. Clayton becomes a boss, but he's flying. No wait, it's an invisible enemy that with enough damage becomes visible. It's a chameleon. What this has to do with monkeys is beyond me. No princesses here, but the keyhole is sealed. The group returns to Traverse Town. Sora opens a secret door that leads to a lake with a house. He enters and gets a vision of Kairi, but Goofy interrupts his fantasy and an old man arrives. He's been sent by King Michael Mouse too. He does a bit of a magic show, and suddenly we have a full room like he just did a speedrunner of assembling IKEA furniture. Old man Merlin wants a book, so Sora gives it to him, and in return offers him a chance to check it out of his library whenever it suits his needs. But some of the pages are missing. There's no point in fucking reading it then, is there, dumbass? This is the Winnie the Pooh book before he became a psychopath slasher killer in the movies. The fairy godmother is there too. Then they say they don't know how they can help. Well, thanks for wasting my time, you old bats. Sora bumps into Riku finally, and Riku steals his Keyblade as a joke, then goes away because Donald doesn't want him to come on the gummy ship with him. Selfish prick. He's one of the people we've came to find. Donald is sabotaging the mission again. Sid and the other Final Fantasy characters are gossiping on who Maleficent is and how she destroyed their world, and need to find the old ruler Ansem's work in order to learn how to defeat the Heartless. While this is happening, Maleficent is giving Riku all of the wrong ideas, turning him into a bad guy. Yuffie and Aerith want the lads to ring a bell 3 times, much like how I'd like you to ring the bell by turning on notifications for this channel when you subscribe. Also leave a like please and thank you. Revealing the keyhole to Traverse Town. But the boss from earlier comes back and turns into a weird version of itself that puts its shoes on his hand and turns its body upside down. Sora pops to Atlantica, where the Little Mermaid lives. Sora doesn't want to drown, so Donald uses his magic to turn them all into sea creatures. He turns Sora into a mermaid, Goofy into a turtle, and himself into a squid. But he's a duck. Doesn't that already count as a sea creature? Ariel thinks that they're a little sus, but before they can get too acquainted, more Heartless come. Together they go to Triton's palace, chased by the Heartless. Triton eliminates them and says,
"That was too close."
"You were almost a Jill sandwich? Hello, what?" Triton starts giving out, claiming that there's no keyhole in Atlantica, and that everyone should simply fuck off and fuck off quickly. Triton is lying. He knows about the Heartless and has sent Sebastian to investigate. The Heartless are coming from Ursula's domain. Meanwhile, Ariel and Sora go back to her house where she shows off her collection of tat. She's a kleptomaniac. The group ride a dolphin to a sunken ship to get a shiny thing. They enter the ship and...
Oh, this is a fucking fucking shark!
The gang beat up the shark before going back to Ariel's house. She's about to put the shiny thing on her wall and Triton comes in and starts shouting at everyone and bitching at Sora for meddling in their business. Ariel has a tantrum and storms off crying. Some dodgy ass eels come by and give us some sales pitch about selling a soul to Ursula. Ursula arrives and starts selling out Sora, telling Ariel that she can see other worlds too if she wants to, and Sora has been cheating with his massive key. She convinces Ariel to sneak into the palace to steal Triton's trident, and it's another boss. Donald starts it off by shit talking and immediately backing down like he's deleting a Twitter post. This is one of the hardest bosses so far, with cheap attacks, specific moves are required, and the aiming system just flat out doesn't work. This is phase 1. There's a second phase after an upstream battle with water. This time she's gone full Rita Repulsor.
Magic wand makes my monster grow!
The second phase is very spammy, but upon success, the trident is reclaimed and Triton stops being a stubborn arsehole and apologizes. He reveals where the keyhole is. Turns out it's in Ariel's house and we've been dumbasses this whole time. If he told us this from the start, we could have saved so much time and backtracking and getting lost. Sora seals the keyhole and that's another world complete. Now we're
off to Neverland!
Immediately upon embarking on the pirate ship, Sora is confronted by Riku, who has an unconscious Kairi. Captain Hook prevents Sora from leaving, so he calls Riku stupid for letting the darkness take him. Riku summons a shadow of Sora and opens the trapdoor to drop him to the lower levels. Captain Hook is not happy about Riku bossing him about, so he takes it out on his first mate. Sora can't believe he's found Kairi, so much so that he's forgotten that he's taken a big fall as he and Goofy are squashing Donald. Good. Peter Pan is here with Tinkerbell and she's being a bitch because she's not a real Disney princess. Sora and Peter Pan make an alliance until they can find his mate Wendy. Sora's shadow chases them around the room like Nemesis from Resident Evil, only crap and dies real easy. Tinkerbell grants everyone the ability to fly, so Donald tries and falls flat on his face. He's a duck, he can already fly. Also, right now, none of them can actually fly, so this feels redundant. The group finds Wendy. She's trapped in a room with Kairi, who's looking like me after 12 pints at Wetherspoons. Riku carries her away and summons the shadow version of Sora to have an epic battle with himself, and this arsehole keeps hiding in the floor and hitting with cheap shots. Peter is with a knocked out Wendy, so he ditches Sora. Sora follows Riku onto the poop deck, and it's a big trap. Captain Hook has captured Tinkerbell and we have a hostage situation. Hook wants the Keyblade in exchange for her safety, and goes off the idea of fighting Sora and leaves his goons and the Heartless in charge of Tinkerbell acquiring a Keyblade because a crocodile comes that freaks him out. Sora finally learns to fly and Peter Pan comes back like, nah, I've not ditched you really, JK lol. Together they beat up the goons and trick Captain Hook into coming out of his quarters. Peter Pan shoves something up his arse. Remember kids, consent is sexy. And then it's the Captain Hook boss fight. He is ridiculously overpowered compared to most enemies we've encountered so far, but a swift kick into the ocean and the crocodile takes it from here. Tinkerbell takes them all to Big Ben. Big Ben's time is wrong, so Sora has to fix it. I'm guessing it's daylight savings. And this allows him to seal the keyhole to Neverland. Flashback to Weenie Hut Jr. versions of Sora and Riku, shedding some lore about Kairi. She arrived in a meteor shower? And Riku was able to see the magic door that captured her to begin with. Cut to not so Weenie Hut Riku kneeling in front of Maleficent as she's given a rough time for not being good at his job. Maleficent tells him about his magic powers, unleashing darkness from within. Back to Peter and Wendy, and they're having a touching moment where Tinkerbell once again is being a jealous bitch. So Peter Pan fobs Tinkerbell off onto Sora. I don't want her! Actually, scrap that, Tinkerbell is overpowered in this game. Yeah, I'll take her, cheers mate. Up next is a new world, not from the Disneys. It's Hollow Bastion, where water runs backwards. Riku is here, along with Beast from Beauty and the Beast. He's there to get his missus back, and Riku kicks his ass. Sora tells him to stop after he's already stabbed him. It's too late there mate. And then Riku uses the Force to steal the Keyblade from Sora, saying that he is the true Keyblade master now, and Sora sucks and should stick to swinging around an ice lolly stick instead. Donald and Goofy flat out abandon Sora. Thanks dickheads, some friends you are. Sora goes to help Beast. He picks up his crappy stick and there we go. Sora has a new friend now that won't ditch him once he loses all of his belongings. Luckily Beast is, as his name says, a beast, and is able to trivialize most enemies but does often get stuck on obstacles, leaving Sora to fend for himself. They enter the palace and all the Disney princesses, some of which we've not even encountered in this game, such as Snow White and Cinderella, are there and we're expected to care about them. Maleficent drains their hearts to reveal the keyhole. Beast is a dumbass thinking that he's found Belle, but it's a single Heartless, so Beast annihilates it. Riku shows up in a new suit looking like Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2. He goes to zap Sora, but Goofy steps in with his shield like, my job is to be where the key is, but you're a twat mate. Thanks Goofy, I knew I could count on you. This prompts a fight between Riku and Sora, now backed up with his buddies again. Riku is strong and beating him gets rid of his ridiculous outfit. Beast comes back, surprisingly without blood dripping from his chin after devouring that one little creature, and he rejoins joins the group. Sora's OCD starts playing up and realizes that a bunch of books in the library aren't in alphabetical order. Bugger saving the princesses and Kairi, he's got to fix this shit first. Riku is back in his suit, and this time he's got harmonizing vocals whenever he speaks. All princesses are there, including Kairi, but the Kingdom Hearts door isn't opening. Maleficent confronts the group, telling them that they're too late and that the final seal is about to be opened. Then she starts her boss fight, and this fight is cheap. Magic meteors, lightning, crap spongy enemies. I had a fair few deaths on this one. Sora gives chase in the portal where a cowering Maleficent is hovering away. Riku is there with his double voice again and has his own keyblade made of darkness and stabs Maleficent through the heart, unleashing her true power, a fucking dragon. And the dragon spits Mountain Dew to deal huge damage. Riku comes out and gives an exposition about how Maleficent was being used by the darkness. Sora sees Kairi lying on the ground and dual voice Riku says that she's not going to wake up and that she is the final princess of Heart. Sora clocks on that this isn't Riku and he's being possessed by someone else. He is Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness, and briefly mentioned earlier by the Final Fantasy people. Sora and modulator voice Riku duel it out. Ansem has a cheap moveset where he darts about the place, becoming essentially an insta-kill, but Sora isn't having any of that and darts about the place too. Yeah, two can play at this game, arsehole. Sora tries to seal the portal, but it won't let him. It's not ready yet, so he takes Amsu/Riku's Keyblade and commits seppuku. A bunch of sad music plays as all of the hearts return to the Disney princesses and Kairi. Donald of course has to ruin the moment with his obnoxious voice. Sora disappears into the void, leaving everyone sad and confused just standing there. A man with a mullet comes now that Kairi is awake and starts having a fit. This is Ansem's true form, and Riku is trying to fight out of his possession. Donald, Goofy and Kairi book it out of there, and oh my god, Sora is now a Heartless. Sora as a Heartless approaches the gang. Donald starts bonking him on the head, and a bunch of actual bad guy Heartless show up. Kairi protects Sora, which turns him back into his normal self. Then Beast comes out and beats the shit out of the tiny monsters. He is out for blood. Riku is having remorse over everything that's happened. He's trapped in the darkness, and the Comic Sans font is telling him to do things, but he's deaf and can't talk or something. Sora gets back to Hollow Bastion. All of the Disney princesses are there, despite being able to leave. Maybe they ordered pizza and aren't leaving until they've had a slice. I don't know. Also, quick note, first instance of the Disney princesses interacting with each other. Yeah, suck it, Wreck-It Ralph. Sora beats a big dog thing and is ready to seal the keyhole. This is where all of the Final Fantasy people come in and tell Sora that this is their world and they won't ever see him again, or at least until the sequel. The final world is the end of the world, the arse end of nowhere, and the point in which I start pulling out my hair in rage and anger as the boss in this zone is a massive heartless demon with some of the worst area of effect attacks of all time. After slapping Tall, Dark and Not So Handsome about, there is a gauntlet that the gang must go through in order to make it to the end, fending off a million enemies while the vagina door slowly opens. Through this door is the point of no return, and back to the island where the game began, only this time things are strange. Sora hears Ansem's voice and sees Riku, his vessel, on the beach. Parts of the island disappear and the ocean turns into Vimto as the battle is about to commence. Ansem has a stand, and anytime Sora gets a few tomato hits in, he intervenes like a bodyguard, stopping you from getting a selfie with your favourite celebrity. Ansem can't handle beating Sora and co on the beach, so he jumps into a room that prevents Donald and Goofy from getting in. It's round 2, a one-on-one fight between Sora and Ansem and his bodyguard mate, but he doesn't count, he's like a biased referee. Sora beats Ansem again, but he's not having any of it. Getting so angry they turn themselves into a fucking boat with gooey parts. He attacks with lens flares from a pirated copy of Photoshop 7. There's so many lens flares it will make J.J. Abrams blush. Once beating each phase, Sora needs to rescue Goofy and then Donald from within the gooey ship. Donald is located at the front that looks like a penis. Sora hits the Ansem boat right on the bell end and then goes in to rescue Donald. Accurate that, seeing that Donald himself is a bell end. With the pair rescued, it's final phase time and they all wail on Ansem until he's defeated. The boat implodes, but Ansem still isn't dead. He calls out to the Kingdom Hearts door to give him unlimited power. Sora's like, nah mate, fuck off, I put 50p in the Lecky meter and now we have light. Screw your darkness. Ansem is consumed by the light and then the gang try to close the door, seeing that the Heartless are in there. Riku comes out and helps with the door, and then Mickey Mouse finally shows him, where Donald looks like, where the fuck have you been? I've been worried sick. They locked Riku and Mickey in the room and Sora seals the door from the outside. Mickey seals it from the inside. Mission complete. Sora sees Kairi, and then suddenly everything is CG and super weird and not jarring in the slightest. Kairi drifts away on a little sand island and Sora is okay with this and it's like, okay, I'll see you in a bit. Then a music video happens and credits. And after all of that, how many times was our word of the day said? Only 10? That's not enough. Darkness, 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 darkness.
Hello everyone, this is AK here. Thank you so much for watching this Kingdom Hearts Poorly Explained video. If you liked it, give a big old thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. And if you want to see more Kingdom Hearts, I'm planning on doing a Birth by Sleep, my first playthrough, as a live stream in the coming days, coming weeks, whenever. And I hope to see you there. And if you want to see any more Poorly Explained videos, put it in the comments and tell me which games you would like for me to cover. And until next time, keep on dancing and bye bye.